If you have PlayStation 2 game saves from back in the day that you wish you could use in an emulator like PCSX2, this video will show you how to do it. First, we run the ULaunch ELF program on the console. This will change slightly depending on if you have a DVD burner. Next, copy the game saves to a USB drive, and then finally import the game saves to PCSX2. I haven't had a disk drive in a while, so I installed one for this video. Who knows when it'll come in handy. This also let me burn my first CD since 2005. Anyway, the purpose of the DVD player is this GitHub repository for FreeDVDBoot created by CTurt. Link in the description. This is an ISO file exploit that burns to a disk. When you pop it in the PS2, it boots into ULaunch ELF instead of the standard operating system. And from there, it's possible to run console mods and other goodies. All we're using it for, though, is transferring files from the memory card. The first thing I'll do is come over to code and download as a zip file. After the download finishes, right-click to extract all. If we dig down into the master folder, there's a pre-built ISOs folder in here which contains 3 disk images. If you have the PlayStation 2 Slim, then this is the file you need. If you have the Fatty, then we need to check the version of the console's DVD player. To do that, boot up the PS2 and press triangle. Insert a blank DVD into the burner. Select the disk image that matches the version number you found. If you can't find one that matches, you may have to skip FreeDVDBoot and use step 1B instead. Select Burn from the top menu. Make sure the correct drive and verify are selected and burn it. Don't forget to label the disk before you forget what it does. With this disk inserted, the PS2 should boot directly into ULaunch ELF. If you get a disk read error, try ejecting the tray and loading the disk again from the browser. When you see the cryptic looking white screen, you made it. If the DVD burner isn't an option, there's still a way. There's software called Free McBoot, or FMCB, that's sold pre-installed on PS2 memory cards. These are available on Amazon for around $15. I created one of these locally by installing the FMCB software with ULaunch ELF. I wasn't able to find a way to do it without the disk, though. With the Free McBoot memory card in slot 1, the console boots into a modified browser. ULaunch ELF is accessible from the options, and we can pick up at step 2 from there. For the PS2 to read a flash drive, the partition style needs to be master boot record, and the file format needs to be FAT32. To check that, pop the drive into a PC. Right-click the Windows icon, select Disk Management, and find the matching drive. To check the partition style, right-click and select Properties, then Volume. This should be master boot record. The file format is listed on the volume. This should be FAT32. If either one is different, we'll get them there now. Right-click the Windows icon again, and this time launch the terminal. Type diskpart to access the partitioning tool. Use command select disk X to select the flash drive. This will be the same number you found in disk management. Then use the commands clean and convert MBR. That takes care of the partition style. Back in disk management, right-click and select New Simple Volume. I'll choose a drive letter of P for PS2. The most important part here is that file system is set to FAT32. Name the drive and perform a quick format. Now it's good to go. I'll add an empty text file to the drive so we can find it more easily when copying game saves. Insert the drive in the top USB slot at the front of the console. Back inside ULaunch ELF, press circle for file browser. Circle is forward and triangle is back in here. MC0 and MC1 are the two memory card slots. MC0 has a bunch of shit in it since a card is in that slot, and MC1 is empty. Mass is the USB slot, and we can see the Hello World text file in here. The goal is to copy the target game save from MC0 to mass. Press L1 and then square so we can see what we're doing. The one we want is for Final Fantasy X. Press R1 and select copy. If you want multiple saves, you can mark them with X. Then navigate back to mass, press R1 and paste. For the final step, we need to take the game save from the flash drive and import it as a memory card in PCSX2. I already have the emulator and Final Fantasy X installed. If you need to set it up from scratch, there's a link to the PCSX2 website in the description. Click on Settings, Memory Cards, and eject the two default cards for a fresh slate. Then create a new card. I'll call this one Legacy. Make sure the folder type is selected. This is important for it to play nicely with our copied game save. Next, drag the card into slot 1. We can see the card is not formatted yet. We'll do that now. Exit the Settings menu and select System, Start BIOS. You'll need to have a BIOS configured for this to work. If you haven't changed any of the controller mappings, we can use K and L for X and circle respectively. Enter the browser, select the memory card, and format it. The last thing to do is move the game save to the newly created memory card. I have the flash drive open on the left and the Documents folder on the right. This is the default location for the emulator save data. If we open up PCSX2 mem cards, we can see the memory card folder we created with a PS2 file extension. Drag the whole game save folder into this memory card folder. Okay. We're ready to run the game and use the save. Double-click the title to launch it. If we load a game from memory card slot 1, we now see the file.